everyone, it's Amy, owner and curator of Yosoboho. We are sitting outside of the Underground Railroad Museum, and it's in where?
Flushing, Ohio.
Yes. So this morning when we were looking for things to do, Mr. Irf, the resourceful one, always the resourceful one, found this museum, and we have visited many sites that are stations along the Underground Railroad. But this is the actual museum that was curated by John Maddox. So John Maddox opened this museum up about 30 years ago and curated all the things that you will see in here. I think we're gonna have a whole video on this museum because I recorded quite a bit. And I have to tell you that they are moving in about a year, a little over a year.
I think like November or October of 2026.
So they're gonna move to an actual station on the railroad. So they will have a historical building. They got a grant and they're gonna move everything there. It's a little bit smaller of a space. So if you're in the area and you wanna see the original collection by John Maddox, you have to come here. I'll put the address right here. It's worth it. I'm excited then to go see the new exhibit.
Yep.
It'll be in Morristown. We will share all the information as we go through the museum. Anything else you want to say about it?
I mean,
I'm excited to, I'm excited to get you in there and show you what we saw. For anybody who wants a little refresher in what the Underground Railroad is, I thought I'd do just a little bit of history here. The Underground Railroad was a clandestine network of individuals and safe houses that helped enslaved people escape from the southern United States to their freedom in the northern states and up into Canada. It operated from the late 18th century until the Civil War. It wasn't a literal train, but a metaphorical system of stations and conductors who provided food and shelter to passengers on their dangerous journey. This network was a collaborative effort of free and enslaved African Americans, along with white abolitionists and other sympathizers who risked capture and punishment to provide aid. Maybe the most renowned and fearless abolitionist, Harriet Tubman, repeatedly risked her life to guide dozens of enslaved people to freedom. Now, her freedom path cuts from Maryland, which was a slave state, to PA. But Ohio likely had the first and the most stations along the Freedom Train. And this area of Ohio that we're in now is really close to the West Virginia border, formerly just Virginia, which was a slave state. Now, the Ohio River divides the states, but could be crossed when it was frozen and in shallower areas. So a lot of people came in through this region. Wheeling, the site of a major slave auction block, is only 27 miles from where we are here at the museum today. Well, let's go check it out. Well, we're in a back room in the museum that Christina put together. Christina is the one who volunteers here, who has done so much for this collection. And we're watching a video that she put together. Talks about this area and the different people involved in the history of this area. And then you can see here, she's created these panels with information. There's Frederick Douglass. This one was interesting to me over here. There's a couple here, wealthy couple, who were conductors. And conductors moved people on the railroad very quietly. Unlike the abolitionists who, really made a statement and held meetings and fought for some of the freedoms and stuff. He would transport them as far north as possible. Man, this place is so neat, and they're moving. It's kind of cool that we got here to see the original, know?
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's Christina. She's the one who's here, who's running things. All of her hours are volunteered. So she spends like 20 hours here a week. But there's some really neat things here. Wait till you see the other room that we walked into. There's some African masks in here. I love these pieces over here. Love them. But there's so much stuff to look at out front. And she said there's stuff downstairs and there's stuff upstairs. So I don't think we'll sit and watch this whole video. We'll go read some stuff. Oh my gosh. And she showed us when we first came in a document that was a sale of estate.
Yeah, slave estate.
A slave estate and actual slaves on the document. We'll have to share that. I'll share a picture right here next to Irf so you can see it. But they actually have the price of the people, which is just insane. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Black Horse Inn. That's where they're going, right? That was, she said Morristown. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad that part came up. Morristown. So that's where it's going to be. The Black Horse Inn. We'll have to go visit it when they get it set up too. She actually told us that if there's any books we're interested in,
We can take it, we can mail them back.
yeah. And I don't know if that's for everybody. I don't know if that's for everybody. I don't know if she allows everybody to do that, but that was like, what? So if there's anything that we see here that we would like to read, she said we can take it and mail it back to her. Here's Obama.
Yeah. Probably when he first came president, younger picture.
Yeah, he looks young. Black First, several copies of that. Freedom Seekers, Ohio. Here's a whole book about. This one's published by the Friends of Freedom Society. Oh, look, it has all the houses in it. How neat. So these are all stations, and it talks about, like, this is the Dick family maintained an Underground Railroad station. And this is in Highland County, Hillsboro. It talks a little bit about the station. So it was just like, they talked about it like a railroad, station and conductors. And I guess Belmont County has the most stations in Ohio, I think probably in the country, right?
Yeah.
And she talked a lot about the Ohio River because Virginia wasn't split. It wasn't a West Virginia.
1861, West Virginia, that's when it became West Virginia. Before that, it was all Virginia.
Right. And all of Virginia was a slave state. Basically, they would take them to safe zones and get them up north from there. This is really cool. There's Zanesville. I think we've seen that house, actually. Yeah. Trinway, Zanesville. Yep, Salt Fork region. We're actually camped out in Salt Fork State Park. Toledo. So you go all the way up. Toledo is way up north from where we are. Sylvania.
Oh, it's one EMU church. It's one of the first black churches in Toledo, and the second largest African American congregation in Ohio at the time.
Wow. Yeah, all these places. Florida, Ohio. I didn't even know there was a Florida, Ohio.
I didn't know either.
In Henry County. Ridgeville, Ohio. Defiance. So these are all broken up by Jefferson. There's Jefferson.
Yep.
Right here. Joshua Reed Giddings. They hid fugitive slaves in a spare room in the office. He was elected to Congress in 1839. Yeah, so it just is all broken up by regions.
Yeah.
And then buildings of importance, whether they're stations or... Look at how pretty that one was. How pretty that place is.
Oak Hill Cottage.
Ties it closely with the Underground Railroad in the Mansfield area. This house was constructed in the Gothic Revival style. Yeah, it's very cool. This home began undergoing restoration and is operated by Richland County Historical Society. Very cool book.
What's it at?
Down here.
Okay. reward.
Oh yeah, well, she said that some of the males between like teenagers and 50 years of age could go as high as like $1,000, $1,200 a piece.
Yeah. That's reward, trying to get him back.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh man. He's a good cook. Handy in any capacity as a house servant. Had on castanet pantaloons, new. He had other clothing. I will offer a $50 reward if taken to Louisville. $100 if taken 100 miles from Louisville in the state. $150 if taken out of the state and delivered to me or secured in any jail so that I can get him again.
Wow. William Burke, Bardstown, Kentucky.
Wow. That's the auction. Auction. No reserve. So wherever they go for, that's where they go for.
Crazy.
Jeez.
Yep. Tuesday, January 16th.
Just throw them away to get rid of them.
And here's their names, their ages. 13 years of age. A Griff, good. Something in temper.
Speaks German and
Fully
English.
guaranteed and speaks German and English. Jordan 23, Jane 24. Very superior washer, ironer, good American cook, and housewoman, fully guaranteed. Yeah.
Wow. It's crazy stuff. That's how it was back then.
There's so many artifacts here, and I was just telling Irf that I feel like I can help with some of the artifacts. I run into stuff all the time. Y'all see that when I'm out. I run into some pretty amazing artifacts. You know, maybe this is a place that would be good for some anti-racist artifact displays. We haven't run into anything quite that yet.
No.
Oh, here's some. Black Americana. I wonder if this could become, you know, more part of it for education purposes. Because I know the one place that I tell everybody that they can contribute to theirs, they stopped collecting because they got so many donations.
Yeah.
Lonesome for you. Missing you too. Sounds kind of foolish, but golly, it's true. No, sir, I ain't dreaming. It's pinched me to see. Just lonesome for you is what's ailing me.
Very, very small population.
Bardstown, Kentucky jug.
So basically,
Wow. A lot of
enslaved and
history here.
paid off a debt.
Look at this.
Wow.
Say Guerrera. Look at the way that the sunlight. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's beautifully painted. That is a original slave yoke they used on slave ships. So literally tethered and tied people together like that. That fits over a neck.
So John Maddox, he started this, 30 years ago? Opened this place, 30 years ago?
Well, yeah, I think so. Okay, now this is a book that I would like to look for. Look. I want to find this. This is an old library book. I don't know when the last time I said this was, but I was actually born in Ethiopia. My dad was on an Army-Navy base in Asmara. What a neat book with all of the different information. I'd love to have this. At least now I have it documented so I can look for it. It's a scholastic book.
Yeah.
Very cool.
A newer book?
No, it looks like it's got some age. Maybe 90s.
I'm looking at this. 2005.
Yeah.
20-year-old book.
What's the date will be on the inside here?
2005.
2005. 20 years. Yeah, I can find that.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it maybe on eBay. These are all ceramic. That hurts my heart.
That's why there's.
Oh, look at the room between the slats. I mean, oh my God. It says 20 to 25 inches forced to lay on their backs.
The whole time.
There's a mural. So we're in the basement, and this is kind of the feeling, you know, being underground here, of being in the ship. I've got this set up like you might find slave quarters. Now there's some things in here that definitely do not date back to that time.
Slave quarters.
But I think they're basically saying that they lived very modestly, maybe with some broken chairs and a thrown out table and...
Where they sleep.
Yeah, there's a bed back there. Ooh, squeeze through there. Yeah, there's a bed back here. Somebody put a chicken in the bed. I mean, that was pretty accurate. A lot of times it was barn quarters, so they had animals. They probably didn't have something as fancy as that stove.
No.
Or that pretty piece of enamel top. And they oftentimes made do with cooking what was scrap. So organ meats and intestines and yep, whatever they could get. Like this is pretty accurate. That looks like a big pig ear. This is showing the kind of area on the Underground Railroad where you could hide people under some steps or down in a basement area. They could rest and get something to eat on their way north. Dr. John T. Maddox was a passionate historian, educator, and humanitarian who dedicated his life to preserving the legacy of freedom and justice. As the curator of the Ohio Valley Underground Railroad Museum in Flushing, Ohio, Dr. Maddox played a pivotal role in bringing light to the courageous stories of those who resisted slavery and fought for liberty. Among his many accomplishments, Dr. Maddox served on numerous historical boards, delivered lectures across the nation, and was recognized for his efforts in community outreach and civil rights advocacy. His legacy lives on in the stories he preserved and the countless lives he inspired. Before we leave this area, I just want to show you where we're at. We stopped in here at Furniture Rescue. We met Kim. She's actually trying to shut down in the next couple of months. If you're in the area, come look at her stuff. Oh my gosh. She does furniture rescue, and she paints and does stenciling and beautiful things. I did not record in there, unfortunately. We actually spent a lot of time talking to her because she was very nice. And then this is where we came, in this building. There's a sign right here. And this is what the front of the building looks like.
Put his home number down? It says home.
Oh yeah, so that was the original curator, John Maddox.
Yeah, that's his home number.
Oh wow. Yeah,
number.
probably doesn't go anywhere anymore, but I'm gonna give you guys all the information on their Facebook page where you can follow. And yeah, we're gonna go in here. You're gonna see a whole bunch of stuff. I have to say, if you're watching, Christina, you're amazing. You are doing so much good, and I can't wait to see what you do with the new building. Hopefully we'll be in touch even before then. But y'all, if you can get here, get here. It's an amazing display, and yeah, there's some exciting things in the future. So history is important. It's important.
Something that cannot be taken away.
No, and everybody needs to know the true history and see what and how people were treated back then, and sometimes even today. So it's super important. So get over here if you can before they shut down this location, and definitely visit them in the future. It's the Underground Railroad Museum. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, please take care. Bye!
Bye-bye.
Look at those puffy clouds. So pretty.
Trading Post gift shop.
We were just driving and realizing, oh, there's your gas light. We were just driving along and realizing how pretty things were out here. Now, of course, it's not going to be as pretty because we had lots of hills and we just drove through. Yeah, there's still some hills out here. We were just talking about that museum. I don't even know if I did it justice. When we left there, which is when we recorded the intro and the outro, I was emotional. I had to, like, you know, just suck it up and talk to the camera. But when we got in the car and we started driving, we had a better conversation about it, and some things that we were talking about I just kind of wanted to share. And that is that I don't really feel like a lot of people understand the history, and we need to get more people into educational places like that so that they can read and see it for themselves. I think it's super important.
Not seeing it talking about it most time doesn't mean anything until you actually see what they went through.
Yes, yeah. I don't know if you guys heard him, but he said, you know, it's one thing to talk about it, but to see it. And there were some things, and the reason why I got emotional is there was some things that I didn't share on camera. I don't think it was right, you know, to share things on camera, but some actual photos of lynchings and things that were just, you know, kind of left us speechless. And I was talking to Irf, I said, you know, there's things that I see like that impact me in a certain way. I feel like heartbroken and saddened, and you know, I kind of explained my emotions. And then I asked him, you know, where are you with your emotions? Are you angry or are you sad? And what did you say?
Just like, not disgusted, but I'm just like actually seeing it.
Yeah.
How things were.
Yeah.
It's very sad to see. Extremely sad to see that is.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, some animals look better than slaves. It's just facts.
Yeah.
So,
It's so important, I think, for people to get out of their comfort zones, you know? I mean, I grew up in a predominantly white area. I went to high school in a predominantly white area. you have to get away from your bubble and talk to people who are different than you and learn. I think that's so important. And really listen, right? Because even coming out of there, I mean, Irf and I have been to other places and seen other buildings and stuff on the railroad, but I don't think I'd ever asked him where his emotions were about seeing things like that. And, you know, I should have asked that a while ago. I should have asked that. I don't know if I assumed that there would be more of an anger in you about it, but the way that you explained it, you know, that your distance from it also kind of puts you in the same emotional state, just kind of a speechless, saddened, you know, like that's what the truth was, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I appreciate that we have that, you know, that ability to speak vulnerably about stuff like that, and I appreciate, you know, the relationships that I have with your family and the conversations that I have had with them to understand, you know, where everybody sits with things, but it's so important that doesn't get lost. And I feel that now, and I'm not going to get extremely political, but I feel that we're losing sight of, you know, the importance of history. So that was it. And we have a really pretty drive. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we passed the state park that we're staying at, Salt Fork. We're actually going to see some water up here probably, huh?
Yeah. Not much.
Yeah, there's part of the lake right there. Maybe get in that later. Definitely going to get the dog in there. But we met a woman at the furniture rescue right next to the Underground Railroad Museum that told us about this burger joint. So we're going to go check out this burger joint. And then we'll get back to the lake.
A question.
What?
Who says burger joint anymore?
Burger joint. It's a burger joint.
I know
Isn't it
that.
called 360 Burger or something?
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying not too many people call a burger place a burger joint.
Whoa, wait a second.
I call it that too.
Wait a second. Oh, you do too?
I do. I call it burger joint.
I was going to say, you cannot call me out on old-fashioned terms when you say things like, what's on the tube? You say everything old-fashioned. You're old-fashioned. You are.
Okay. If you say I am, then I am.
You are. I say so.